Dear Mr. Emmanuel Macron, during your recent speech, you expressed concern that Europe could soon disappear with the collapse of the Western era, and the world would line up between the two poles, the United States and China, and the choice of peoples inhabiting Europe today would be made only between these two dominant forces. We know that civilizations disappear, as well as countries. Europe will disappear with the dissolution of this Western era, and the world will line up around these two big poles, the United States and China. We will have a choice between the dominance of the two forces. We can pretend that we have forgotten everything. We are very good at doing this. We have been doing this on many issues for a long time. Dear Mr. Emmanuel Macron, we share this concern of yours, since the fall and destruction of Europe have negative consequences for the whole world. Throughout recent times, Europe and the West have claimed the role of an international leader, and if they want to remain in a leading position, they should offer the world a new model of world order that will bring prosperity to everyone, instead of focusing on the individual well-being of each person individually, outside of his connection with nature, with other people. What are European values? These are freedom and the man on the pedestal, all for the sake of a man. Within the framework of this formula, Europe and the West have implemented liberalism and a cult of tolerance, when everyone can do whatever they want without any restrictions, while all norms of morality are diluted, dissolved. The understanding of any social rules and norms disappears, as well as elementary knowledge about how the life of a socially healthy society should be arranged. Europe should draw conclusions from all this, correct mistakes, and progress further. You don't even need to change the idea. A man on a pedestal is a good idea. It's only necessary to correctly answer the question of who is a man, what makes us human, and to direct society in the development of elevated human qualities in people, to develop humanity. Everyone needs to become a man with a capital letter. This is the message that Europe should develop in its most basic idea. Liberalism postulates that a person is already perfect and therefore worthy of the best. No, you need to become a man who will be worthy of the best. A person with a capital letter is a person who has the fullness of morality, the fullness of understanding of life, and the fullness of responsibility. Since Europe and the West have lately claimed to the role of an international leader, then in understanding of life, in responsibility and in morality, Europe and the West should go ahead of the whole planet, set a good example for the world in this. In developing a model of well-being for all humanity, Europe and the West should correctly answer the question: what is well-being? Well-being implies development at all levels, and not just in the economic sphere, as is happening in Europe right now, when everything is sacrificed for economic and financial sphere. Economic development does not need to be abolished, but it should be done so that this is not the only goal of the state and all people in society, so that economic development does not infringe, does not suppress other spheres of human life, but exists with them in a healthy balance. Over the recent years, ideas of individualism and independence have been promoted in the West, according to which each state and each person sought to acquire their happiness separately and independently, very often to the detriment or expense of others. But we are all interdependent, as particles of a single whole, as different systems and organs of one organism. Therefore, in order to become strong again, Europe should build the well-being of the world on a new evolutionary platform of interdependence, where countries and people care about each other, instead of only taking care of themselves. Russia will be glad to cooperate with European countries in building a common well-being for all countries and peoples on this planet. Health and well-being to you in the new year 2020. With deep respect to you, Alexandr Usanian.